is. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another sizzling, spectacular, scintillating episode of A Dangerous Podcast.
So this week it's a dangerous podcast.
Thank you. I'm your host, Ian Alley Seals. I'm here with my fearless co-host compatriots, John, Jason, Jules. How you guys doing?
Doing
Good.
I'm doing good. You know what?
Yeah, don't everybody elaborate on that already. Like
Everybody knows.
I'm trying to elaborate. You're cutting me off.
Sorry. John, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. You know what? I'm a cryptomaniac.
Whoa. You jumping in that cryptocurrency?
Jason has gotten me all fucking into the crypto stuff, and I got my friends into it, and I'm just sinking money into it. You know, people are, talking about how, it's a fool's errand and, crypto's a bad deal. I'll have you know, I'm only down $35. So anybody's saying,
all I know,
you're going to lose a lot of money on this. They're idiots.
Bitcoin was an internet joke, was like a meme and a webcomic punchline. And then all these stories came out about Bitcoin being worth $10,000 a coin, and all the people that lost their hard drives, they would have had $100,000 right now, or $10 million. And ever since that happened, people jumping into crypto like it's going out of style.
Well, yeah, I have a fear of missing out. It's not so much about the money. It's just if people did make money, I don't want to miss out on that. It's not that. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
it's like I don't care if I'm a millionaire. Yeah. I just don't want all of you guys to be millionaires and not me.
Sure. Really, what it is you don't like to be left out.
It's a fear of missing out. Yeah, that's a real thing.
If people are going to be losing lots of money, John wants to be part of that train.
That's right. I don't want to miss out on anything.
I'd point out that an investment strategy generally is buying low and selling high, which means that when everybody's doing it, you're not doing it. And then when nobody's doing it, you're buying.
Yep.
I would say.
Well, yeah. Now things are low, so I'm just buying.
That's great.
Well, everybody, welcome to A Dangerous Economic Podcast. I'm your host. We're going to be telling you what to do with your money.
We got hot tips. Hot tips.
Hot tips.
That's right.
Yep. You're going to rack up your portfolio tonight, folks.
Everybody, put all your money in Moxie. That's what I'm going to say. Put all your money in soft drink Moxie. It's going to be taking the world by storm.
You get to drive up to Maine and go out to a shack, and the guy gives you a stock certificate, but it's worth
it. You know what I heard, actually? Every can of Moxie is now worth
$10,000. Good thing I keep so much of it in my basement.
I know that.
Although I shouldn't have said that on the podcast.
Did they stop selling that?
They sell it in New Hampshire.
I'm sure they sell it in Maine. They'll never stop selling it in Maine.
One would hope.
Okay, all right, everybody. So, thank you, Pito. For those of you listening, this is our segment where we completely just start talking about and quoting the quotes of people commenting on the podcast. Pito Royo just said, "All hail Reb Brown." And all right, I'm going to say something right now. Pito is just throwing out buzzwords here, like he usually does. He's just throwing out Manos quotes, throwing out Reb Brown quotes. I know why you like Pito Reb Brown, because you're way into. Wait, what's the Reb Brown movie?
Don't ask me, because I'm like, I saw that in the credits, and I'm like, Reb Brown.
I have no idea who fucking Reb Brown is.
He's a man. That's a movie we should watch. But okay. So here's the deal. Pito's throwing that. I don't know, Pito, if you actually realize there's a Reb Brown connection with this movie. Because the lead actress in this film, who is Heather Menzies Urich, was the female lead in Captain America, starring Reb Brown. So you're Pito, thank you for throwing out that red brown connection right there.
Pito's all over it.
He's all over it. So, Jason, how's your week been?
My week has gone routinely. I can't complain about anything for a change.
Okay, excellent. So I have some news. For everybody, and this is in the ongoing saga of Dangerous Podcast. Jules and I, last night, at the normal spot where we would have been recording this podcast, got back and started editing the movie.
Oh, thank God.
Right.
Yep.
You're talking about let everyone know what you're talking about.
That film would be The Stolen Mile, our action adventure comedy race car film set on the Berlin Turnpike of Connecticut, which everyone in this podcast is an integral figure. John and Jason are both producers of the film, and Jules and I are the writers, directors, editors of.
I thought Jason's a producer. I thought Jason was I thought he had a bunch of other roles.
Well, he does sound a lot. He works on sound a whole lot, which I'm really looking forward to seeing how it turned out, because the sound quality in the camera is terrible.
I did also randomly, mid-production, get cast into the movie for 30 seconds.
Yeah, dude, your pal.
Pal.
Do you remember your line?
I have a speaking line too.
No.
You're bookie. You're the bookie.
I'm the bookie, yeah.
Yeah. Jules and I are the only people who don't have parts in the film. But Jules, didn't you figure out what your role in the film is going to be last night?
Yes, I do.
You're in it, aren't you, Ian?
No, I'm not in it. You're
not that wise old guy.
Well, we'll talk about that. But Jules, what's the part you're going to play in the Stolen Mile?
I'm going to do the in-store announcements for the big lots.
That's right. All right, I'm going to give a little background.
The role you were born to play.
I know.
So the majority of this film, honestly, has been shot in the parking lot of the now closed Modell's Sports Goods, which is in a larger parking lot in the Berlin Turnpike with Joann Fabrics and Big Lots and their Party City and their
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese, yeah, that's actually mentioned in the film. And the way this film was written, when me and Jules wrote it, was to start at a gas station. And I'm going to go through the basic plot right now, where a schlub driving his mom's car goes to a gas station and his car gets stolen. And then adventures ensue from there. And so we've been planning this. We had the best gas station, which of course we didn't actually talk to, because we're just going to in and out guerrilla style this thing. And so the final day of shooting, when we're going to get all this done, we set up to shoot. And of course, we are chased out of there very quickly, and the cops are involved. And so we immediately needed to rethink what is the entire opening of this film going to change to? And we went to our home. We went to the Modell's lot, and we changed the opening to take place right outside of the Big Lots. And so now we have a scene where the main character, played by the incomparable Jeff Tingley, walks into a Big Lots, and when you hear those announcements, it's going to be Jules.
That's right.
Jules.
Yes.
How proud is your mom? when you first told her this, beaming.
There were tears. Tears.
I know.
Tears of joy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Goes without saying.
Ever since I was young,
Right. She's dreamed of this moment.
She has.
Did you tell her, though, that you're not going to be an actual voice at Big Lots and you're only going to play it on television?
Yeah, no way.
So thank you, everybody. I know everybody's riveted by the trivia of this small short film that not done and none of you have seen, and that we've been working on for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
No. I mean, anyway, yeah. We've been working on this movie a long time, and we started editing last night and went pretty well.
We started editing the new stuff. That's what's happened. We edited a bunch of the old stuff. Right. There's been all of the new stuff, a lot of the stuff that we shot during the whole COVID year or whatever, that kind of thing. So
So we started editing, and so if you are a frequent live viewer of this podcast, do expect that we're probably going to start doing Wednesday nights. Jason, we didn't clear this with you, but
if it's Wednesday nights, it'd probably be 9:15 is when I'd be able to do it.
that sounds fine. Because we got to edit this movie. We got to get this thing done.
You guys do that, and since this is also a dangerous technical podcast, Jules, did you get a Mac?
I have not. Well, look, the new ones just came out, right? But they made it thinner again, the new iMac.
Mm-hmm.
Anything I don't pick up and put in a bag, I don't care about how thin it is. The new iMac could be 3 feet deep for all I care.
Apple has an obsession, right? Apple has a fucking obsession with making everything fucking as small as it can possibly be, and I don't understand
you're
why.
telling me I have to open that stuff up and work on it, and it's like all delicate and tiny on the inside.
Oh yeah, it's a nightmare, and it's just kind of like I feel like it's like Steve Jobs was doing it back when that made sense. Back when it's like, oh, a laptop that's really light, I can put in my bag. Then he died, and they're like, what do we do? Steve made things thinner. We'll just keep doing that.
I understand things you put in your pocket, like make a smaller iPod. That makes sense. Like a smaller iPhone. That makes sense. Like, why do you need to make a smaller fucking iMac?
There's no reason.
No.
It's so thin.
I want to open it up and mod that shit out.
Yeah. Yep. It's a shame.
Remember, you used to be able to replace batteries on phones. Like you just open up the fucking back and just replace the battery.
If you try to replace the battery on an iPhone, you will die.
I did. I fucked it all up. No, I tried it a few months ago. I'm like, I'll watch it on YouTube. I'll order the battery for $10 on eBay and I'll do it myself.
That's why John's out of a hotel room right now because his home burned down.
Yeah, I am motel bound. I'll say that. My wife is just gearing towards motel on Berlin Turnpike.
But guys, I'm really excited. It was really nice to get back and be working on this movie, getting it done. I know everyone here has sunk so much time, effort, and to have this project keep going and have there be light at the end of the tunnel. I'm really happy about that, and it was really exciting.
Yeah, we have one problem though. The new footage is because that's the first scene of the movie, and I guess this is good. In the end run, it's going to be good. But the point is that our footage looks so much better. Like our last footage looks so much better than our first footage.
Yeah,
but it's good because it's the opening scene of the movie, so everybody will be watching the movie and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, look at it! They did a really great job," and then they hopefully won't think about it again.
The movie
things
gets
get a little
better
muddy.
as it goes along. That's not a bad thing.
No,
it's starting off good and it's going to get worse.
Well, they're already there.
You know how like when you're watching an 80s cartoon and it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and that opening credit sequence looks amazing. Yeah. Like it's the best animation. Yeah. And then they cut to the show and it looks crappy as hell. That's the Stolen Mile. Like, scene 1 is the opening credits of Thundercats. The rest of the show is the actual show. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I always wondered, I used to see these trailers to movies and the trailers were fucking amazing. They got me excited. And then you see the movie and it's like, what the fuck? And it's like, why don't they get the guys who make the trailers to make the movies?
I don't think that's happened yet.
I mean,
I don't think that's happened yet because there's people who are famous for it and who are just like that's all they do, that's all they're good at. I think there's some talk like sometimes they like I think they get sometimes like dialogue added to the movie, being like they go over the script and they're like put this line in so I can use it in the trailer.
Well, I remember like as most people know, I'm a huge comic book fan and I'm a really big Fantastic Four fan. And I never saw the Josh Trank Fantastic Four film, but because it was just supposed to be so terrible and I didn't want to hurt myself like that. And I realized saying that has opened everyone here to stick that knife in by suggesting Josh Trank's Fantastic Four.
Who suggested that?
Nobody has. I'm just saying now that I've said that I've never watched it because it's painful to me, I know that I just put a bullet in the chamber for John. But
that's fine. We're just gonna
paranoid.
Yeah, don't worry, Ian. We're gonna watch the Roger Corman one.
Oh, that's a good movie. That's a good movie. But anyway, so there's in the trailer though, there's this shot of the Thing, like Ben Grimm the Thing, like hanging from a plane, and then they drop him from the air, and he plummets to the earth and crashes into whatever place that they're trying to infiltrate. And it looked really badass. Apparently, not in the movie at all. Not at all in the movie. And it was apparently like the best visual effect that they did the entire time. Didn't make the movie. So, but talking about a film with dazzling special effects, let's get to the movie at hand. Which is, can we all do this in unison? We're no good at this. We're no good, but we're gonna try. Ready? 3, 2, 1. That was pretty good, everybody. I totally thought you all were going to leave me hanging, and I was going to be the only one. I'm glad we're
a team here. We got your back.
Thank you. So yes, we're watching. Everybody, how many S's is in that title? Everybody,
7.
Thank you. All of you, when you've been searching the film, have you been sure to type the requisite 7 S's in?
We got that straight at the beginning.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That was one of the first things we got straight when we picked this. 7 S's.
Yep.
It's true. When you type in 7 S's, you will always find this film.
Yeah. Now
I bet you some poor Google programmer had to deal with that because they've never had to deal with that before.
I love your empathy for these like unsung heroes out there.
Oh yeah, that poor guy, where his boss comes in being like, "I typed in 7 S's and didn't get the movie from 1974 with Dirk Benedict. What are you doing in here?"
And right there, you say, I mean, this is I'm not going to call this a star-studded cast. But these aren't terrible actors in this movie, technically. No. I mean, it stars Dirk Benedict, Face from the A-Team.
Face.
Heather Menzies-Urich. I mean, she's done a ton of shit. Like, she was in Sound of Music when she was a kid.
Oh, really?
She was in Logan's Run, the TV show.
Oh, well, there you go.
I don't know why I singled that one out. But yeah, Logan's Run. And the crap.
We're the only people that remember the Logan's Run TV show. But yeah.
Okay, and now.
There was a Logan's Run TV show?
Hell yeah.
It's a good thing we don't have a podcast of TV shows that slip through the cracks.
Yeah.
In the 80s? Yeah. Is that when this was?
No, late 70s. Late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I remember that actually. Okay.
I
think I do remember that. Yeah, it was pretty popular. It was late 70s.
It's free.
I was very young.
It's free on the Dust app. Or whatever.
I'm not going to watch it.
Really? It's free on Dust?
Yeah.
By the way, everybody, I'm buzz marketing right now. Dust is a short film, television, science fiction website. It's really good stuff on there and terrible stuff on there. So good. So here we are with.
So was anyone finding the parallel, before we get into this, was anyone finding the parallels between this and Roar? Like just starting with the title?
God, you called that like psychically at the end.
Yeah.
It's not psychic. It's just a very, very smart. Like when you're smart as me, you can like.
Except for it's just a strong contrast because it's just kind of like, at the beginning of the movie, they're being like, thank you to our crew, for.
Okay.
And then meanwhile, and then they're all, I'm sure nobody got hurt.
and also, well, maybe John, but also everybody. There weren't that many snakes in.
No,
I mean, there were some snakes. There are a few snakes.
It was so fucking boring. It was like, forget. You know what they should have called it is dialogue. It's like they'll have these scenes in one room with 2 actors in it, and they're just like talking for 22 minutes about fucking nothing interesting at all.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say. I agree and disagree with you, John.
Say it.
Here's what I say. Like, not every scene, the dialogue is terrible, and not every scene is uninteresting. But it's almost like they sprinkled Valium over the entire film. There's this weird decision that the director
does feel
made.
kind of sedate, doesn't it?
Everybody is asleep in this movie. It's like the director went to everybody and said, all right, here's how I want you to play this horror film. Disconnected, uninterested, and tired. Across the board. Except for 3 characters. And I'll talk about those characters when we get to it. But across the board, like Dirk Benedict, you're a interesting actor. I'm the director right now. You're an interesting actor. You're a good-looking guy. You've got a lot of charisma. Could you just tone all that down? Really, just push it down. Push it down. Just and be as uninteresting as you can possibly be.
Right.
And that is what we're going for in our science fiction horror.
Yeah, I think they were
verbatim the directions from the director on this movie, right?
No, yeah. No, I think that I was very confused by Dirk Benedict's performance too, but I think there was some sort of, the whole plot is written in such a way that he's supposed to be like this like dopey nerd loser. And I kind of feel like the being
like, you know,
right. But so I figured that the way they had him do that was by having him be sleepy. I don't know.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
We're going into an early dangerous podcast problem, which is we're talking about the film before we've explained the film.
Yes.
And I am going to attempt today to do a thing I've never done, which is cut to the chase, because this film does not need a 2-hour recap.
No.
All right. So here is the film.
Could we start with the? Do you see the dialogue that I have on the screen right now?
Yeah, I'll read this out. This is a crawl that happened right at the beginning. It says, all the reptiles shown in this film are real. The king cobras were imported from Bangkok, the python from Singapore. We wish to thank the cast and crew for their courageous efforts while being exposed to extremely hazardous conditions. Why is this a trend in these movies?
First of all, after watching Roar, like, fuck these guys. Like, have you seen fucking Roar? Like, after seeing Roar and knowing, like, 2/3 of them got fucked up by liars.
Question.
Fuck this crew who had to deal with one python.
Oh, we had 3 snakes. It was really dangerous.
Cast and crew of Roar. Cast and crew of everyone, raise your hand if a king cobra fucking bit you. How many times? Dirk Benedict?
Or bit your face off.
There's
Zero
people in this. A fucking elephant fucking broke somebody's fucking ankle and gave him gangrene.
Anybody? Tippy fucking Hedren.
Tibby Hedren. Fucking Meg Ryan at 14 got fucking practically eaten by a lion.
Melanie Griffith.
Melanie Griffith, sorry.
We don't know what Meg Ryan did. That may very well have happened to her when she was 14 for all we know.
Meg Ryan
a lot of shit happened in that movie and you wouldn't know. I mean, Michael Jackson could have got eaten.
You haven't heard that film with where Meg Ryan made an entire film with hippos and half the cast was eaten alive?
That was Hungry Hippos, the movie, right?
God, internet, please will that film into existence now.
Please, God.
The Meg Ryan hippo.
You exist, please. I'll start believing if that happens.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the problem. So, like, this movie did use real dangerous snakes, and they did it responsibly, and no one was hurt.
And no one was in danger either. Nobody was ever in danger in this movie.
Well.
Not after watching fucking Roar.
Not after Roar.
Everybody was always in danger.
Yeah, but here we go. All right. So the film opens, as many horror movies do, in a dank basement. It's a laboratory basement. And there's a box that's shaking and moaning. And then a scientist comes out, and then some sort of sketchy guy.
The moaning sounded a little bit more like baby whining to me. Sounds like you recorded a baby.
Either way, it was a sound that snakes do not fucking make.
We're gonna get to that in a minute.
It was like a burping.
I know we all want to jump into all of the weird stupidity, but let's give it a second. I promise you, I'm not going to waste time. So the scientist, who is Dr. Stoner, is meeting with some surly person, and they're obviously doing some sort of shady deal. The person that's meeting Dr. Stoner says, Dr. Stoner, Your work is so important. You're a genius. I want you to know that. You're a genius. And this work is so important. And Stoner's like, thank you. Can I have my $800, please? Yeah, sure. Hands him the $800, walks out with this moaning crate. All right. Theoretically, that is an interesting way to open a movie. Shady deal, box moaning, but it's boring as hell. And that's going to continue throughout the film. We then cut to college, a college lecture hall where the lecturer is Dr. Ken Daniels, played by Richard B. Schull, and I want to know what else he played. Well, he was in Splash. He was one of the evil scientists in Splash. That's what he was. People in this movie were in stuff. This guy was in House Sitter. It was in Spring Break.
How do you know that? Do you just know this instinctively, or do you?
No.
How do you know this?
IMDb. I have it open in another tab. Sorry, that's my magic.
No, but I mean, he is definitely one of those guys where I was looking at him and I'm like, I've seen this guy 100 times and I wish I could remember where.
But no more for me than the actor who played Dr. Stoner, who is, listen to this name, Strother Martin. Okay? Strother Martin. From the minute Strother Martin started speaking, I knew I knew him from somewhere. And I'm like, I'm watching this and I'm trying to get a line in my head. He had such a very specific cadence to his voice. Did this happen for anyone else? No? Okay.
No.
He played a colorful character in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. At the end of the film, Butch Cassidy, and Sundance, the one time they try to go straight and get a respectable job, they go to a mining company and they get hired by the boss to be bodyguards while they're walking down the mountain. And the line that always sticks with me, because he's great in it. He's this amazing small character. They're all Butch Cassidy and Sundance. They're trying to look for an ambush, and he goes, "Morons! I have morons on my team. We don't need to worry about going down the mountain. No one's going to shoot us on down the mountain because we have no money. When we come up the mountain, that's when you sweat." And suddenly I'm like, oh my God, this is the guy from Butch and Sundance. Turns out it was. Okay? He has this distinctive voice, and I spotted it immediately. So anyway, sorry, just wanted to geek out about that for a second. So we are at this lecture hall where Dr. Ken Daniels is giving a lecture on dangerous snakes. And he's like, there's this one snake, and you can tell it's going to kill you by its coloration. And look at this other snake. It looks exactly the same. This means it won't kill you. All right, there we go.
You know, we've been watching so many horrible movies that, like, I was squinting at the movie, and for a minute there, I thought that, like, it was like a snake class. Like, it was dark, and you couldn't see the pictures on the wall. And I thought they were all snakes. And I'm like, does everybody in this town care about snakes? Like, it's just like everybody, like, this is some weird snake-oriented town. That's how dumb movies we've been watching are, that my brain is just thinking that's a possible thing that could happen now. I mean, the movie just started. It could be that dumb.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Snake Town.
I'm so glad I got accepted to Snake College. Here in Snake Town, Nevada.
Yeah. But you only got into Snake DeVries.
But don't you feel, I mean, very early on, I kind of understood the gist of this. And you can do this in the 70s. 70s was a great time to make movies because you can get your hands on two snakes.
And you got a movie.
You got a movie that's going to be playing in movie theaters throughout the country. Yeah. It's like you need like 7 minutes of footage with the actual snakes. Mm-hmm. And then the rest with two guys in a room talking for 10 minutes at a time. And then, boy, these snakes are dangerous. These snakes we're going to see later on in this movie, they're so dangerous. You
don't even know.
You don't even know. You don't even know, man.
And then
they're all handsome and shit, and you don't even know.
then Melanie Griffith's dad said, "Hold my beer." So anyway, back to it. So the scene ends, the lights come up, and the class is dismissed. And Dr. Daniels calls. There's a girl there. Calls her to hold back. And the person I was watching the movie with went, "Oh, he's about to sexually harass her." And I'm like, "Oh no, that's not what." Oh yeah, that's exactly what's happening right now. Yeah, so he's right about to get a little handsy with this co-ed when Dr. Stoner comes in, interrupts. All right, co-ed leaves the class. Then they just kind of have a contentious discussion. Dr. Daniels is the head of the department.
For 20 minutes again.
It goes on for long.
It goes on forever.
Now, is this clear? Does Dr. Stoner work for the university, or does he just get a grant from them?
I think he just showed up just to mess with that guy.
Yeah. Okay. So
because later in the movie he apparently, I don't think it's mentioned. The grant, I don't think it's mentioned.
No,
but it's mentioned later.
I think he mentions that. Well, Dr. Daniels, you're the chair of the department. I really like my grant extended. My work is so important. We don't know what this work is yet, but he's like, my work. And Dr. Daniels is like, well, you've groveled enough. I'll see what I can do. And Stoner says, I need a new lab assistant. Do you have any college students who'd be interested in? And Daniels is like, I thought you already had Tim. Like, Tim left. Kids these days. He ran off. Okay. Yeah, I do have someone. So then we cut to the outside of the classroom, and you have a young, strapping Dirk Benedict, as sleepy as he can possibly be, surrounded by a bunch of other co-eds and jocks who are as sleepy as can be. I'm going to try to relate this scene.
And tell everybody who Dirk Benedict is, because not everybody knows who the fuck
Nobody's going to know what it means. That he's Face from the A-Team.
Right.
Face from the A-Team.
Face from the A-Team.
So, this whole scene happens as if everyone was about to fall asleep. A jock goes, "Hey, Dave, I got a problem with you, man. Why you got a problem?"
He was the moving thing in the box, wasn't he?
He's like, why?
Is that true? Is Cheryl right?
What's that?
Wait, was he?
Yeah, that was Tim in the box.
Yeah.
Oh, I was already so sleepy from the scene that I didn't figure that out.
Carol just spoiled it for everyone. So there's the jock is threatening David over what I don't know, and at one point the jock says, "Well, I'm just with my fist," and that's kind of threatening. And then Dr. Daniels comes out and goes, boys, break it up. Hey, David, how would you like an opportunity to work with Dr. Stoner? And David goes, do I? And suddenly now Dr. Stoner owns him. Seriously. Yeah. It's like
he's Dr. Stoner.
Yeah, now David is walking out of class. He was just in class.
He just walked straight out of class into his car and goes and lives in his house.
It's not like, okay, come back to my lab tomorrow night at 7 when your classes are done. It's like right now you're just
Yeah, like
I'm telling you, the 70s, anything goes.
He's like, David, we got an opportunity for you with Dr. Stoner. Really, Dr. Stoner, now I live with you. Like, that's how fast it is. They get in the car. We're introduced to the fact that, yes, Dr. Stoner works with snakes, and there's a boa constrictor in the car. Boa constrictor's name is Harry, and Dr. Stoner's all fun. He gives Harry some whiskey all the time, pours whiskey in a little bowl, and Harry laps it up and everything like that. And Stoner, and that's at the point where the sound effects become weird because they start giving all of the snakes in this film sounds and voices, not like speaking voices, and not one of them is. Yeah,
I very much do not.
Baby moaning and growling.
Yeah,
snakes don't fucking growl.
Never
or whatever the fuck they had them doing.
Guys, what sound do the snakes never make in this film? No, you'll never hear a snake hiss. You will hear snakes go.
Yeah. Like a kid.
At no point do snakes hiss in this film. They do whine like little babies and they growl like bears, but that's
That's when you know you're watching a shitty movie.
yeah, I don't know nothing about snakes, but I'm pretty sure they hiss. And I know that from the 7-letter title of this film. So, all right, I already broke my rule. I'm talking way too much about this film. David goes back with Dr. Stoner, and Stoner introduces him to all his snakes. He's got a bunch of snakes there. He's like, all right, all these snakes are color-coded. There's stickers on there. If it's green, it means they're totally harmless. If it's red, it means they're dangerous. And if it's black, they'll fucking kill you. And he shows them the black mamba. He's like, the black mamba is one of the deadliest snakes in the world. Bite from a black mamba, the neurotoxin will kill you in an hour or less. You'll just get you'll have a heart attack. And
this begins the long series of snake facts that we keep getting throughout the movie. And yep. I know no snake facts, but I'm pretty sure most of it was nonsense.
It was all nonsense. All nonsense.
Yeah.
Except here's the thing, and this is where I say to you, John, everyone was safe. This is how Dr. Stoner, this snake expert, handles a black mamba. Takes a hook, lifts it out of the tank, throws it on a table, lets it kind of slither around on that table for a little bit, and then goes and grabs it. I don't know. I'm no snake guy, but I don't think that's how you do it.
No. Now, it's very clear these people don't know what the fuck to do with snakes. I mean, this whole really, it was like, hey, I know a guy who can get us a fucking, king cobra. Holy shit, let's make a movie out of it. Really, that's really what had happened. It's like, let's come up with snake shit and write a fucking dialogue around it.
Now we have to assume, by the way, that, or I'm assuming, I could be wrong here, that the only actually dangerous snake that they deal with is the cobra.
But can't they devenomize a snake?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of assuming. Yeah,
I was going to put a cobra that could kill you right next to the cast.
Yeah.
It's not like they had bad judgment like the people who made Roar.
Oh God. So, all right, yeah, we've set this up.
Exactly. This isn't Roar, where it's just like stoned hippies,
let's hang around.
Being run by a fucking madman who somebody gave him a bunch of fucking tigers and is ready to kill his whole family to make a movie.
No, this is a straight up Hollywood film that
it is right.
That
it's around two snakes that somebody was able to get them.
Yeah. And so what we set up is that this is a lab. They study snakes. They study snake venom. And that they make their money by extracting the venom and selling it to pharmaceutical companies. They say that the venom from the black mamba is good for anticoagulants and so on and so forth. Maybe it's true. I don't know. I don't trust anything I don't trust any snake facts. We then meet Dr. Stoner's daughter, who is Christina Stoner, played by Heather Menzies-Urich, who we've discussed at length so far, who again is just sleepy out of her mind. This is my impression of Kristen. Hey. Hi. These are my snakes.
This was weird looking.
He's the king. Yeah, listen.
Even for
listen.
It was the 70s, big hair and big glasses.
Even for the 70s, though. I'm gonna find a picture of her.
Yeah, I'm not saying she isn't a beautiful actress. She absolutely is. But they make a lot of weird hair decisions in this film.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. A lot of very attractive people in the 70s, made themselves very weird.
It did not really look like a wig. It really looked like a wig to me, and I'm sure it wasn't. But
I'm wig blind.
No, I don't think it was.
Yeah, Jules is wig blind.
So no matter how. She was wearing those glasses too that apparently just came back in style. But it's just as bad as an idea now as it was when this.
What were those glasses, Jules?
The circular, very big circular with the gold.
Circular glasses. Huh?
With the gold rims around them, which you are lacking. I'm not saying anything bad about round glasses. I'm talking about the oversized ones with gold rims. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, all right. So now we've
I'm about to share a picture if you want to.
Okay.
Sure. Share the picture.
All right. Maybe we're going to see a picture.
Maybe
not. It's all the same to the people at home listening to the podcast.
Yeah. There she is.
Those are the glasses I'm talking about right there.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm the only one in any of these podcasts
glasses. Yes.
That has never left during the taping, but I have to run for like just 1 minute. Can you guys continue the recap? I'll be right back.
We're just going to talk about the glasses.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll just continue to complain. So, is this a wig or not?
No, that's not a wig. That's just natural 70s hairstyle. It's feathered. But it's weird though. Look at her hair. It's like she's an if you saw like Oliver, she's an attractive woman, but her hair and like that turtleneck and those glasses, mostly her hair, just kind of like I'm trying to make myself the most non-sexual thing, even though I am an attractive woman. I don't know what is going on. It's just very 70s. And look at Dr. Stoner next to her. Look at that fucking guy.
Yeah.
He's the
one that needed to dial down the sexiness, really, if you think about it.
When your name is Dr. Stoner,
right? Yeah,
chicks are going to be on you.
Yeah,
you're teaching at a university. All the ladies want to take Dr. Stoner's class.
Mm-hmm. So where were we? So how are we doing a recap? If we can't remember where we were in the movie,
I think we were just talking about Kristen, and I don't know.
Well, no, I just figured we should just move on to the recap if Ian's going to suddenly disappear. Yeah. What? So. Yeah.
Can we just talk a little bit about the whole this was it was a super boring movie. I think this is the most boring movie we've seen. There was really, this whole movie is based around snake action.
Mm-hmm.
Like snakes on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
But have you seen that movie, Snakes on a Plane?
No.
It's worth checking out, I think. Just because of the relationship between Samuel L. Jackson and snakes. Mm-hmm. That's all you need.
Yeah.
So, 2/3 of that movie is just Samuel L. Jackson on a plane, and it's just a build-up to him being around a shitload of snakes. And it's coming at some point, and he's going to do, stupid shit, like shoot the snakes. And it's awesome when it happens. And, yeah.
Good thing you're back, Ian. This is falling apart without you.
Yeah,
Jules hasn't seen Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah, we're talking about Snakes on the Plane.
Have you seen Snakes on a Plane, Ian?
Yes, I saw it in the theaters opening night.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is a fucking poor man's shit version of Snakes on a Plane. Opening night, did you say?
Opening night. Opening night. I was there. And guys, I leave for 5 minutes, and we're already at Snakes on a Plane. That's what
there's only so much we can talk about Christian's hair.
Okay, all right. Well, all right. I'll get this back on track. So, all right, we've introduced Kristen, we've introduced Dr. Stoner, we've introduced David. Dr. Stoner immediately says, "Well, now I've got to give you some injections," which right away, why is David doing this? He doesn't know this guy. He doesn't know anything. He was in class 4 hours ago. And now he's in a basement lab with a guy he doesn't know who's injecting things into his arm that he doesn't know what they are. I just don't recall that being how college works. I don't know.
Did you go to the college in the 70s?
No, I didn't. So, all right.
And we noted that Dr. Stoner...
They didn't have anti-vaxxers then to warn you about the snake venom vaccine.
Yeah, I know. Seriously. Anti-vaxxers we all, give them a hard time. But, back then they were right. Because you weren't anti-vax.
It was because
some weird old guy was
going to... so old, anti-vaxxers were right.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's how the anti-vaxxing movement came about, because all of these old scientists were injecting college students with and they had to put a stop to that,
Well, you laugh about it now, but like, how many college students actually died of snake venom?
A lot.
No, not too many.
A lot. I mean, it's this research that saved them. Anyway, I'm sorry. So, all right, we set this up, and Dr. Stoner says the injections that David is getting are a anti-venom serum that will make him immune to many of the snake attacks here. Which right away, I'm going to get bit by so many snakes that I need a multi-week injection process. I would like to go back to class, please.
They did a good job of establishing that, like, Dirk Benedict did not care
about anything.
No, but that he thought this is exactly what he wanted to do or something.
Yeah, like apparently. When he went to college, this was his idea.
Yeah, he was just like, I can, go to college, but the minute a snake scientist pulls me away, I'm just going to be gone.
I'm out. And then we kind of set up their life.
What is going on? What is going on here on the screen, John?
Yeah, John. What are we looking at here?
I am pulling up the drummer from Prince and the Revolutions band because I think he looks like Jason, and I want to share
it. We'll come back to that. It's a visual gag. Most people are listening to this on their phone.
All those poor Canadians who only have a radio.
Sorry, Canadians.
All right, Canadians who are listening to us at home, John has pulled up a picture of who is this?
His name is Charlie Day. He is the drummer from The Revolution. That's a photo of him during.
No. Charlie Day's an actor. They're saying that the drummer looks like an actor named Charlie Day. That's
definitely Charlie Day. I screened. I don't know. Whoever he is.
I think that's what's going on there.
Yeah.
So Jason.
He looks like Jason.
Yeah. So he looks like Jason, who also looks like Charlie Day, who is an actor. So that's obviously for all the work. Yeah. So that's a lot going on there.
I needed to throw this in there.
This is our lowest point right now. in like, what are we at? 17 weeks of this podcast so far. This is our lowest moment. The Charlie Day dressed as the drummer from The Revolution kind of looks like Jason. Okay. I'm moving on with the film, everybody.
All right.
And this is what a day in the life of Dr. Stoner's company looks like.
And by the way, I'm just going to leave this on the screen.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Come on.
So, can I continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. So, every day, Kristen goes out and makes a kind of a makeshift circus. Like, cars will drive up for a snake show. And it's all kind of around their house, and she instructs everybody, stand aside, watch, sit on your cars, but don't go near the snakes. They will kill you. And then her dad comes out in a pen, and a king cobra comes out, and then he does this weird kind of dance with it, like this kind of like, ooh, lifting out his hand and like, ooh, like waving his hand, wax on, wax off, to distract the snake. And then he grabs it by the back of its head, and then he milks the venom into a jar for everyone, and everyone claps. And everyone's like, he's a genius. That's what everybody says. And David's like, he's a genius. That's what their day consists of. And then they go back in the house, and then Dr. Stoner will give him more injections. And as
we neglected to mention that those injections are, in fact, hallucinogenic as well.
Oh, yeah. They make Dirk Benedict trip balls. But really, I mean, more give him really bad dreams, right? Isn't that what they give him? Super crazy dreams about snakes, and then
they give him super crazy hallucinations of clip art.
Okay. Now, also a theme in this, both Kristen and Dr. Stoner wax poetic about king cobras all the time. They're like, well, he's the king. He makes the rules. He's the king of the jungle. I've never really heard of the king cobra as like the king of the jungle. I mean, I know there's king in it, but like they really lean heavy on that. They
they said that the king in the movie. They said the king cobra is the most deadly animal on the planet, but I beg to differ. It's the mosquito.
There we go. But they also specifically say that the king cobra is not as deadly as the black mamba, but is cooler.
No, didn't they say that? Wait, no. They said 10 for the black mamba. It was 10 times as much venom as would kill a guy, and with the king cobra, it was 30, wasn't it?
Really?
I'm remembering my fake snake facts from the movie.
Okay. But they're always going around the tank going, "Hail, your majesty," and then the snake is like, no, sorry, it doesn't make that sound. It goes, makes weird sounds. And
I have a horrible idea. I'm just going to bring it up right now. You're a teacher, so you tell me if this would actually work.
Sure.
What I think I should do is make a PDF of educational materials about snakes, and it'll only be facts from this movie. It'll have pictures from the movie too. What are the chances that if I upload this onto a random school server and it gets indexed in a search engine, that it will start being taught to children when teachers are just searching for like snake lesson plans, and then this thing pops up, and then
Jules, you do realize that you will theoretically get someone killed. Like this little prank could end up getting someone killed by a snake.
What schools have like a pressing need for the kids to have the real facts about snakes?
Well, over at Snakes High. Oh, by the way, now we got some bad Photoshop of Charlie Day as the drummer from the Revolution, and Jason right there.
I'm just saying, have we ever seen Jason and the drummer from the Revolution together in the same room?
I haven't.
I haven't either.
And I've hung out with both of them extensively.
I mean, it's never happened. I haven't hung out with the drummer from Revolution. I've hung out with Jason a lot, and I've never seen the two of them in the same.
Everybody, Cheryl is bringing us back, and it was Cheryl. What was that quote? Was that the snakes only make the weird noises in David's dreams? No, they make them in the real world. Or sorry, they make them in the non-dream world. They're making them noises all the time. Yeah. So, all right, here we are. There's only one more important fact before we move on, which is that the police do show up and question Dr. Stoner about his assistant Tim, and he gives a offhanded line of, "Oh, he went to go visit his father," and they're like, "Yeah, well, we talked to his aunt, and his father's dead." It's like, "Oh, well, maybe his aunt. I don't know. Kids are crazy. It's the 70s," and they're like, "Good enough for me." And the two cops leave. Those two cops are the only are two of the three non-asleep characters this film. They actually have some presence to them. Mm-hmm. So now we've set this up. Tim, the assistant, has been missing, and the cops are kind of after him. All right, there we are. They then just kind of go and live their life. They live their life and do their thing. David keeps getting more injections.
There are montages.
There are montages of injections, and weird stuff starts happening. Like David's skin starts peeling. And he's like, "What's going on with this?" And Stoner will then say, "Oh, it's the cobra venom burning your outer skin from the inside." Again, get out! Why are you doing this, David? All right, his skin is starting to peel, everything like that. So David and Kristen are out on an errand. I don't remember what they're doing. They're out on an errand. And they're going by a lake. And David says, "Where does this road go?" And she goes, "Oh, it goes over to the lake. Let's go there." He drives there. and he gets out, and then we have the most awkward courtship pickup I've ever seen in a film. And I'm exaggerating. I'm sure I've seen weirder. But it goes something like this. He goes, "Come on, let's go swimming in the lake." And she responds, "But we don't have our swimsuits." And he says, "That's okay. We don't need them." "David, no, you're a naturalist, right? What could be more natural than both of us swimming in the lake?" I swear to God, that's verbatim.
It is pretty weird.
In the 70s, wasn't everyone a nudist hippie?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but it works. This pickup line works.
Although bizarrely, did you notice the bizarrely superimposed leaf? It's like, and I don't mean like they put a leaf in the scene to keep you from seeing any nudity. I mean literally, it's like cut and pasted on the film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And how about this? I mean, I was uncomfortable with this because while they're coyly getting undressed to jump in the lake, you know, Kristen is kind of behind the car door and everything, and Dirk Benedict is like standing right in front of her and is like, "Wop!" he drops his pants right there, and they've got that superimposed leaf so we don't see it, but like he's got schlong like right there. He doesn't turn, he doesn't do anything. He's like, "Sup?" But if you could do all of that as sleepily as possible, that's how Dirk Benedict pulled this off.
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm going to do the next musical lookalike to a member of a dangerous podcast. Are you ready?
Bring it. We're waiting. It's loading. Oh, who is this? Who is this person?
It's Jay Mascis from Dinosaur Jr.
Oh, man, and look at, there's me. There's me. Look at that. Look at that. I'm a rock star. I'm from Dinosaur Jr.
It looks like it's like you inverted it in Photoshop, kind of. It's Dickie.
No such thing.
They didn't invert it, and then the hair.
All right.
For those of you who can't see at home, I have luscious long hair that is now receding like the Maginot Line, and it is dark brown. I've got a white beard, and this particular rock and roll star has the same hair, white, with a mostly black beard.
And that's not a really great picture because he lives in Northampton. I've seen him a number of times up close. He does look like you.
Okay.
This picture and your picture, not so much. But it would be interesting if you guys ever met.
I think that works pretty well. Okay.
But again, I've never seen you two in the same room either. Just like Jason and the drummer from the Revolution.
That's true. There's
my disguise is better because I have a wig. Ian has to dye his hair.
That's true. Yeah,
it's rough.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's another fact I want to bring up right here, which is they set up that Kristen really can't see without her glasses, and they do that by shooting from her perspective and going out of focus. They do this all the time. This happens like 5 times in the film. And they never actually address the gag that should come up, which is, all right, I'm going to spoiler everything for everybody here.
No, you're wearing pajama pants.
No, they don't, Emily. But Spoilers. So this is the way that this should go. She can't see without her glasses until up close. And at some point, she gets close enough to David, and she sees he's a snake man.
Oh yeah.
Like
it's only because they added that. Though Jason had brought up the weird point that this is a horror movie that was rated PG, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It can't be rated PG. They say swears.
What swear?
Well, like I said, it was PG by 1973 standards.
They say shit a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Oh well. Anyways, I'm saying they obviously shot the skinny dipping scene as a nude scene and decided later that they were going to paste the leaves on and they were going to make everything out of focus. That was decided later. That was just going to be a straight up normal nude skinny dipping scene. And then after the fact, they were like, "Oh, the only way we're going to sell this is that if it's PGs or whatever, something."
That's a good theory. But they do go skinny dipping, and it's fun. Then they get in the car, and then they're driving, and there's more awkward flirting. Like David says, I think your dad thinks I'm gonna try something with you. And she says, well, aren't you? And he responds, wouldn't dream of it. Okay. Look, it's a carnival. And there's a carnival.
Well, no, then he tries to make out with her.
Oh, John.
While they're driving.
For those of you at home, John, who is that? John?
That's Neil Breen.
That's who I thought it was. John is saying that Jules looks like Neil Breen. I can tell you right now that is not true, and Jules should be offended.
I don't know what you're
I'm not
talking
offended because I have even a larger Messiah complex than he does. So I understand the comparison.
Okay, so they go to the carnival.
Okay, I wasn't comparing looks. I was comparing.
So, is the next thing we're going to come up John and Steven Seagal? Are you going to put up those two photos? Guys, I promised I was going to get through this quickly, and we're already an hour in.
Go ahead. Come on.
Okay. So we're at the carnival, and it's a carnival. David and Kristen, they're riding the whirly whirl, and we see the cops. They're at the duck shoot where you have a BB gun and you're shooting metal ducks, and one of the cops can't shoot and the other cop can shoot. It's a scene. I don't know. And then they get outside the freak show, and there is a carnival barker who's saying, come on, look at the man with two noses. Look at a man who's very fat, and look at the snake man. And Kristen goes, it's all fake. And he says, did I hear fake? I guarantee you, madam, there's nothing fake about the snake man. I will bet anyone $1,000. Look at here is a crisp $1,000 bill. And if anyone can prove that the snake man isn't real, this $1,000 is yours. I wish we'd been there, because judging by the makeup of the snake man, we would have won $1,000. Really. But David really wants to go see the snake man, and Kristen doesn't. Okay? Set that up. Kristen's staying outside. David wants to see the snake man. David goes sees the snake man. It's this man with no legs and stumpy flipper arms who is in bad snake makeup. And he goes, wow, his eyes are blue. That's the most dramatic thing about this guy? Okay. While David is in looking at the snake man, Steve, Jock Steve from that opening scene, you remember Knuckle Sandwich Steve? He comes and he sees Kristen, random attractive girl, gives her a teddy bear that he apparently won somewhere in a game. And she's like, oh, thank you. He's like, no problem, honey. Now you can buy me a beer. And she says, no, I'm with somebody. And David comes out, and then Steve starts, like horsing around and kicking his ass. Like, hey, you see David, you life. And he's beating him up, and they get into a fight. They get into a fight right out there, and he's lifting up David, and David goes and bites him on the neck. And Steve's like, oh my God, you're biting me. This guy's biting me. And then the cops come. Cops come, and he's like, Steve, get out of here. Break up all this ruckus. And the ruckus gets broken up. And then, so David and Kristen, they get in the car and they leave. And Steve is so mad. He's so mad. And then they go to another part of the carnival where there's a stripper. I mean, I've only been to the Coleman Brothers carnivals in Hartford.
I was about to say, do you want to know what PG movies and carnivals have in common? Strippers.
And she's got pasties on, everybody. She's got pasties on. But you got the stripper, and she's dancing around. Everyone, all the dudes, they're going wild. They're like, woo! Stripper! Stripper! They're going crazy. Oh, John's throwing something. Ah, Stephen's throwing something here. Yep. They've been aggressed in previous films. They might as well be brothers.
It's my spirit animal.
His spirit animal is
Go.
So, and then one of the jock entourage goes and talks to the stripper's handler, or her pimp, and comes back and he's like, "All right, I got it. It's all worked out. She'll do us for $10. This is how."
Is this how prostitution works? I don't
think that's how. But and then
Jules, is that how it works?
Well,
I'm just joking.
Let me check the app. I got it right.
But then we have one of the weirdest exchanges in this very weird film, where another one of the friends says, "Wait, $10 a piece, or $10 for all of us?" And he goes,
man.
"What do you think? She's a cheap hooker? $10 a piece." And then Steve gets really mad. He's like, "I'm not paying for it. Never have, never will." And his friend is like, "Yeah, you're just mad because that redhead turned you down." He's like, "I'm so mad." Steve, calm down. He's like, "You calm down." And then he runs away. And he gets on a motorcycle and he drives back to Snakeville. So they are everybody's gone to bed. Everyone's gone to bed. And then Steve, in this PG movie, attempts rape. Nothing funny about that, everybody. Steve drives up to their house because he found out that they live at Dr. Stoner's. And he climbs her trellis and he opens the window and he's like, "Hey, hot stuff." And she's like, "Oh my God, get out." It was horrifying. It was this like, what? And then Harry, the boa constrictor, attacks Steve, who falls. He's like, "Oh my God, a snake, a snake, a snake," reacting very similar to the villain Seth in Hard Ticket to Hawaii when he saw a snake. The way that villains respond
People
to
in the 70s did not like fucking snakes.
Hard Ticket is 80s, but
80s,
they don't.
yeah.
And
early 80s too.
so Steve is on the ground. He's like, "Oh my God, the snake, get it off of me, get it off of me, get it off of me." And the snake is rapping. And, and Kristen's running out going, "Harry, no." And Dr. Stoner comes out and David comes out. And you don't really see what happens, but like it's implied. Steve kind of takes the snake by the head and snaps its neck or something. Like, it doesn't have a neck, but it breaks it, kills the snake. He goes, "You crazy people, you crazy people with your snakes. You're living with snakes. You're psychos." And he runs away as if he's the one who gets to be mad because he just tried to rape this girl. He tried to break into their house and attempt to have sex with her. It was horrible. And now Stoner chillingly kind of doesn't take his eyes off Steve as he's driving away, and he says, "David, do you know the name of that boy?" Cut to the next day. They're having a funeral for Harry the Snake. They've got a box, snakes in it. They're burning it. Kristen's crying. Stoner is reading some Walt Whitman. And then he says, "Everyone, I need to go on an errand. I'll be back later tonight." And you see him go in the basement. He gets a black mamba, throws it in his satchel, leaves. David then says to Kristen, who's crying, "Kristen, it's only a snake." And she cries more. He's like, "I'm sorry. It was a good snake." That's it. And then she looks at him and she says, "David, you look different." And he goes, "It's just me. And haven't you ever seen Wild-Eyed Passion before?" And she says, "Show me." And they go in to have sex. Now, in the meantime, we then cut to one of the only other interesting characters in the film. We cut to Steve's like bachelor pad dorm room where he has just had sex with like a girl. like a cheerleader girl, one of his groupies. And she is now, if everyone else is on Valium, she's on cocaine. She is like, oh, Steve, this is great. Let's have more sex. Let's have sex. Can we have more sex? He's like, honey, I can only go twice a night. That's the orders from my coach. And she's like, but we can have more sex. And he's like, sorry, honey, I got to recharge. Later. And she's like, oh, Steve. And she leaves. And he gets into the shower. And then you see Stoner. He's outside. And he goes in and he walks in. And while Steve is in the shower, he throws a black mamba in the shower. Steve gets bit and he dies.
Kind of stuff happens.
How did Stoner not think that was going to get back to him?
Well, it wouldn't. Well, I guess they didn't find the snake, and they said it was a heart attack. I mean,
he does pick up the snake. They the coroner didn't notice the snake bite.
Apparently not.
I don't know. It's all right. He takes the black mamba, puts it in his satchel, leaves. We cut back, and David and Kristen are in post-coital bliss, and they're like, "Oh, Dad is here!" And like they quickly clean up, and then they.
I think that was one of the scenes where they said shit because when
they're going, shit!
Oh shit!
Yeah, that is one of the scenes. The other scene was when Steve is getting attacked by the snake. He's like, shit! And then so
what was it like?
Yeah, John?
What was it like? You do that again?
It was like, shit! That's my impression of Steve right there.
Okay.
Now, another plot point. They engaged in lovemaking on the floor of the living room. Okay, this is important because they clean up pretty well and they go back to their respective bedrooms. But she leaves like her shawl or something right there, which is how Stoner knows they've been getting it on. So he walks up to Kristen's bedroom, knocks on the door, and is like, "You seem to like David. I like him fine. I think we have different definitions of like. You have to promise me you will never have sex with him." She's like, "That's none of your business." And then he freaks out. He's like, "Oh my God, no. You don't understand. You cannot have sex with this boy. Do not have sex with him. You're a stuffy old man and you can't control me." And he really should say, "No, Kristen, I'm turning him into a snake." You're going to get snake junk in you. Don't do this. But he can't. He just say, "Kristen, I need your," and this is the line, "I need your promise you will not have intercourse with that boy." And she's like, "I'm not going to make that promise." He's like, "Oh my God, you have no idea. He's a snake man."
Oh, it's so weird.
So okay, I'm gonna skip. I keep saying I'm gonna skip, and then I don't. So all right. Then at that point, like the next day, and at one point, Dr. Stoner does like a clandestine recording saying, "Everything's going to plan. David's body temperature is going down 5 degrees a day, and soon
this guy's just leaving evidence everywhere."
yeah. And he's like, he does everything except saying, "Very soon, David will be a snake." Okay. Wait, was Red Brown Steve?
Yes.
No.
Red Brown was Steve?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Pito, I am sorry. I
You owe Pito an apology. You're right.
Yeah. Pito's like, yeah. No.
Far be it from me to ever doubt that Pito won't know when Red Brown is in a movie. Man, when we see Red Brown at Rhode Island Comic-Con, I'm not getting a Captain America or a Yars World photo. I'm getting signed. So,
bring a snake and like ask him to sign it.
They have snakes at Rhode Island Comic-Con, no joke.
I know they do.
So, I'm lightning speeding this now. So, at this point, the next day, Stoner sends his daughter like to the next state to pick up a snake at the airport. They got a new fancy snake. It's going to be great. David is taking a turn for the snake. He is just like he's breaking out and looking all snaky, and he's complaining of terrible, terrible pain. He's like, "Oh my God, I'm hurt. I'm hurt. My guts, they hurt. And Stoner's like, don't worry, you'll be fine. Have another injection.
Oh, everybody fill me in. Because he spends he's slowly turning into a snake and not really anything happens. He mostly like except for in the beginning his skin's peeling off, and then he's going on about his nose. He's says something.
He's turning slightly green and his
no. At this point,
him like, oh, you look different now for some reason.
Right, but does he look different? Is what I'm trying to figure out. Did they look different? Did they talked about his nose getting there, or did they do something to his nose, or was there literally nothing? And I
thought there was nothing done.
That's what I thought too, but I thought, well, maybe they did something. Maybe I don't know. Can you just do that in the movie? I don't know.
But anyway, so David's getting all snaky now. He sure is getting all snaky now. His skin is green. He's got scales and everything like that.
He was in the bedroom. She went to go see if he's okay. He wouldn't come out of the bedroom. She was really upset. And when he was laying on the bed with the green body paint, just kind of like wiggling around, that was the exact scene that I saw when I was a kid, just flipping through TV. I see this guy just green body paint laying on a bed, kind of wiggling a bit, and I'm like, wow, I'm gonna see the rest of this. You guys get to relive my childhood through this podcast.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Daniels then shows up. And he kind of knocks on the door, and Stoner's agitated and comes out and says, well, Dr. Stoner, I was going to break it to you softly, but since you're being a douchebag, we have cut your funding. We've cut you're not getting this grant anymore. He's like, fine, I don't care. Go away. He's like, can I talk to David? David's inside. We're working on something. Go away. Okay. So Stoner goes back inside, gets a call from Kristen, who's like, I'm at the snake airport and there's no snake. He's like, well, why don't you wait till tomorrow? She's like, okay. Did he just ask his daughter to wait in the cargo area for 24 hours? I don't know. He did. And David, he's all snaky now. He don't have arms. He don't have legs. He's hobbling all around. He knocks the phone over. And but he can't do anything. He's all snaky. Then in the airport, the guy working at the cargo desk says, you like snakes? I hear that snake man at the carnival down the road, he's something to see. She's like, oh, I'm sure it's fake. He's like, nope, it's that snake. It's snaky as snake can be. A snake man as snaky man can be. It's got blue eyes. She's like, blue eyes? I don't know why that clicks with her, but it does. Yeah. So she then goes out to the carnival, kind of tries to talk to the carnival barker. Can I see the snake man? He's like, come back tomorrow. She leaves. She sneaks in the back. She walks in. She sees the snake man, and she realizes it's Tim. Snake man's Tim.
It is a really. I'm sorry, but it's a really funny scene. It is. Really
that's when the Valium wears off. And now she's yelling and running around.
Yeah.
Now she looks alive.
Yeah, you're like, Tim, no. And so her way of helping her former friend, who she now realizes her father turned into a snake man, is to leave him at the carnival. She's got a bounce.
Where else is he gonna go?
Yeah, so she gets out of there. And she's driving home. Meanwhile, we cut back to the Stoner Ranch. And Dr. Daniels has tried to do a little investigating. He's going to do a little snooping. He comes around, he looks in, he sees David. David's all snaky. Oh, my God. Stoner comes, hits him on the back of the head with something? Hammer? I don't know what that was. Mallet? I don't know. Hits him on the back of the head and then chains him up. Chains him up in the basement and has this, villainous talk where he's like, my work is so important and you won't get in the way of it now. And it very much like Saw, he's set up a game. Let's play a game. Set up two tanks. He's like, know so much about.
Wow, this movie was really pioneering and set the stage for a lot, didn't it?
Yeah, totally did. Mm-hmm. Like, you know so much about snakes. Well, one of these snakes is venomous. One of them is not. They both have the key to your freedom, which one will you choose? And then he leaves. And I actually liked about this scene was that Daniels, he chooses the right snake because he's a snake professor. Like, I got this. I got your star. The right one. He gets the snake. He's like, sucker. And then a python falls from the ceiling and eats him. Okay, there you go.
The best part of the python eating him is the representative eating him. The Professor Stoner comes in and the snake is swallowing like a tiny shoe. That was something else.
We cut to my favorite scene of the film. We cut to the police station.
This is my favorite scene too.
Great thing.
This is so good. This is so good.
Jules, do you want to describe it or do you want me to?
Oh yeah, so Steve's crazy girlfriend goes to the police to, I guess, confess to like having so much sex that she killed him, I guess. Yeah. Because it's just like, oh, he said he wasn't supposed to, and I told him to keep doing it, and he died of a heart attack, and I'm sorry.
But they set it up even better than that. First, they do a fake out. They're like, officer, there's a girl here who says she killed Steve, and you think it's going to be Kristen.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's coked up sex girl. And she's like, I did it. I killed him. I know athletes aren't supposed to exert themselves like this, but I couldn't help myself. I loved him too much. And the officer says, really? How much do you love him? 3 times. It's a wacky scene. It's actually funny. And then she says, like, he was so upset because he went to go sexually accost this girl at the Stoner Ranch. And he got accosted by a snake. He said the girl made a pass at him. Girls are always It is a funny ass scene.
Yeah. But then where it gets even better is what, like, somebody from the college comes in to be like, everybody's upset because our professor is missing, and he went off to the Stoner Ranch,
and they're like,
the cops just give this look of like, this is the best job. Like, we didn't have to do anything. You know, think about most movies. Most movies, everybody putting all of these pieces together would be tedious 20-minute process of missed opportunities and miscommunications. In this movie, it is literally everybody shows up to the police station and it's like, Stoner Ranch, weird shit's going on. Like,
here's what
that's all we have to do. We just sit here and then we just go out the door when the people come in telling us exactly where shit is going down.
Here's my theory. Both of the cops, fourth wall, know they're in a horror movie. And they're waiting for the script to tell them. And the universe does. And they're the Stoner Ranch. All right. Things move pretty quickly at this point. So David is totally strapped down. And Dr. Stoner says, I have good news and bad news. The bad news is you have one more injection, and it is the most painful. But the good news is it is your last, and it is your transcendence. You will leave the world of man and join the world of snake. And he injects David, who just writhes miserably. And then, through some pretty bad special effects. Am I being rude here? Like, Jules, you're a student of 70s special effects. Was this actually good?
No.
Good.
I mean, part of it was
you don't know that.
I mean, everybody in the 70s mostly would have the good sense to not like show it. They would imply it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, think about like the Incredible Hulk becoming the Incredible Hulk in the 70s. You know what I mean? You've got like the shirt ripping, you've got the things. You know what I mean? They didn't do any bullshit where they like built bad puppets of like Bruce Banner slowly becoming
the Hulk.
Lou Ferrigno, you know what I mean? They didn't do that because that would just look horrible.
Yeah.
Right? So
the only reason that I have to ask this is because I was reading a few reviews, and one of them was from Gene Siskel, God rest his soul, who his quote was, "This movie is so terrible, good special effects couldn't even save it," which made me go, "Whoa! Did people think this looked good then?"
did he mean that if it had good special effects, it wouldn't be any better?
I thought Gene Siskel was praising the special effects and
It
saying
was just green body paint and overexposure.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought that the Dirk Benedict Snake Man thing that he had once was probably the best looking thing.
Yeah, that looked all right when he was.
That looked okay when he was just Snake Man.
Yeah, and then
but everything else was horrible, and the Carnival Snake Man was horrible. And
so what then happens is this terrible special effects that we've been vaguely talking about in nondescript ways for the last 5 minutes is we show the transition of man to snake. And I thought it was really anticlimactic because, I mean, Stoner's saying like, you will now be a god. And really he just turns into a snake.
Yep.
He turns into a snake. Here we got a snake. And then like Stoner picks him up and puts him on a table. Like, all you've done is make one more snake in the world in a really complicated and dangerous process.
I thought for sure he was going to be some sort of snake man.
Yeah,
I didn't think there was going to be just a snake.
Yeah, like I was expecting this snake god man. Like he's the power of a snake and there's a man. No, he's just a damn snake. Okay. So then Stoner goes to the king cobra that they already have there. And by the way, the snake is a cobra. He turned into a cobra. He goes to his already pet king cobra and says, "Your Majesty, I request an audience. In fact, I demand it." And so he goes out into his pen and he starts doing his weird little snake dance with the cobra again. Meanwhile, back in the house, the mongoose has gotten out.
Yeah, why, if they care about snakes, did they have a venomous snake predator hunting mongoose just there the whole time?
Okay, okay. Now back in the pen, like Stoner is monologuing with the cobra and doing his snake dance, wax on, wax off, and he's like, "You were the king, but you're the king no longer. Now David is a king cobra, and he has the power and the majesty of a cobra, but the brain of a man." And he's doing, and then he gets fucking bit. Like we've already established earlier in the film that he's like on his super anti-venom serum. He like withstands the bite of like a black mamba, but like this king cobra just knocks him down. He's like, cobra's like bah bah, and it gets him. And meanwhile, back in
Ian, real quick, but can you explain a bit? Because I think we kind of skipped over some of the mongoose stuff. Can you explain how the mongoose randomly in scenes throughout the movie?
Oh yeah, this mongoose has been there freaking out all throughout the movie in a cave. Freaking out all the time. Finally gets out and then immediately goes and attacks Cobra David. Now, here's what I'm going to say. In this last scene, it's the only time that Stoner ever explains what the fuck he's doing. Like, we know he's been turning him into a snake. That's obvious. But why is he doing it? And he has some kind of thing that, like, the human race is going to destroy itself, and the only way that we can preserve ourselves is to be snakes.
He's like, by the year 2000, we'll have no more oil.
And so we better become snakes by then.
We'll all be snakes instead. Who needs an automobile if you're a snake?
We'll be free from disease, except for snake diseases.
I don't know what.
but guys, listen, I gotta set this scene. So while Sponder is dying, he's pontificating on the majesty of Snake David. How Snake David is the new step of evolution. A snake body and a man brain, and it is the next step. Meanwhile, you come back inside, and this majestic Snake David is like, fuck a mongoose!
somehow, right then at that moment, the mongoose got out of its cage, and they showed a close-up shot of the cage, and somehow the lock was just happened to get unlatched.
Yeah, but like superhuman Snake David is powerless compared to the fury of the mongoose, and the mongoose is like attacking the snake. And I would have given everything. I would given every dollar in my bank account if right then they had David as the snake talking. And David was going, shit! Mongoose, fuck! Get him off me! Get him off me! Like, I would have loved the hell out of that if they had done that. But instead, it's more fake snake sound of going, like as the mongoose eat him. And all right, I'm gonna cards on the table here, everybody. I watched the crappy YouTube version that like had the sun streaks on it. Mm-hmm. It was terrible, but I did watch it that way. And it cuts out before the very last scene. So I had to look up Wikipedia and look how it ends. But this is my understanding of how it ends. So, okay, so first, I did see this. Kristen goes to the pen and she sees her dead dad. She's like, Dad, no! And then there's the snake. And then, yeah. John just threw up a video of her. Oh, yeah.
There's a mongoose and a snake.
So, okay. Kind of movie is this?
I can't speak it fast enough while doing that. The snake, the king cobra is going to kill Kristen, and then the police come and they blow up the snake with a shotgun. And then they go inside. And he's
like, David, that's right, he's inside, I forgot.
David's inside, and they see the mongoose fighting the cobra, and then she goes, David! And then the film ends. What's going to happen? We don't know. And that's the end of the film.
There
it is. The conclusion of...
There may be, can we say right now, maybe one or two holes we can poke in the plot of this film. How did she know that cobra was David?
I mean, because she figured it out because she went to the carnival and saw the snake man and tried to study him and was like, wait a minute, I know what's going on here.
That's my boy Tim.
But how? So this must mean that she was privy to his weird snake transformation research in some capacity. Because you can't just be around snakes, have a missing assistant, and then go to the freak show and see a snake man and say, it all clicks now. That doesn't make any sense, right? You have to know that you could actually turn people into snakes. And that has to be in the realm of your scientific knowledge. It has to be a possibility.
Yeah, but I'm just still saying, like, she knows that her dad's making snake men, but that's just a straight up cobra right in there. Like, I don't think I would put it together.
Right. We all thought that he was going to become a snake man, and he became a snake instead. So we're taking it out on her because we're like, why would she think the snake was? Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go, everybody. That's that right there. And
there it is.
Yeah.
Oh man. Like, and that's a thing, like, what's going on here, everybody? How did this movie
if they hadn't killed off the Dr. Stoner at the end, they could have made a sequel that would be a legal trial against him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Everybody who's just tuning in, our next film is entitled Blood Tide Legal Waters, about scientists. They're not turning people into sharks.
That would be ridiculous.
That's stupid.
No, they're taking the title to like, "Arr."
Yeah, they're taking the brain of a serial killer and putting it into the body of a shark.
A thing you could actually do.
And I'd love to start writing it if we ever finish the fucking movie we've been working on for 20 fucking years. Get a fucking computer, god damn it, Jules.
We were editing yesterday, John, but okay.
He still doesn't. I mean, we'd be editing more if he had a computer.
That's true.
He's prepared to buy one. He just hasn't done it. He's indecisive.
There's so many options.
Okay, guys,
So many
back on. Well, I guess my point is like,
take your computer money, invest it in Bitcoin, and then use the other computer.
So, guys, we gotta address this film because how did this get made? I don't mean like how did it get funded? Like
we already went through that. I told you how it got made.
This is a real studio film, though. This is the problem.
Yeah,
this isn't just
literally.
some weirdo. It's
some
not
guy
just
in Hollywood. In
If they
1972.
imported the snakes from Thailand and Singapore, that makes me wonder where did they get the mongoose?
Why don't they mention the mongoose?
They just rented the mongoose. They brought them back to the pet store afterwards.
I guess where I'm going with this, guys, is this is not a dry period for cinema. Like, this is a golden age of cinema. We're in the 70s right now.
I don't know what the fuck you mean by the golden age.
Working right now. They're amazing. Like, the entire world of Hollywood cinema is changing. This is the auteur era, but they're still making horror movies this way. Like,
you think this is a horror movie?
Yes.
No, it's not a horror movie.
What are you talking about? It's a mad science that's turning people into fucking snakes.
But that's not a horror movie. No, that's not a horror movie. Even in the 70s, it's not a horror movie.
It is. This is that whole House on Haunted Hill era. This is like, this is that whole.
Okay.
Is Roar a horror movie?
Well, for us, it is. No, Roar was a romantic comedy.
So was this?
Jules?
So I Wikipedia'd it because we should have done that. The producers of the film went on to make Jaws. Oddly enough. I'm serious. So
I can see that.
Yeah. So it seems that they have some sort of general interest in animals killing people movies.
And Steven Spielberg had the great idea. It's like, I'm not going to use real fucking sharks. I base my whole movie around that. I'm going to get fucking robots.
Yeah.
And have them do whatever the fuck I want them to.
Oh, yeah, that worked out real well for him.
Write a story around two fucking snakes that somebody's going to mail me from fucking Bangkok.
Yeah.
And write a shitty movie around it.
By the way, they do use real sharks in Jaws. There are real sharks in Jaws. There are 2 shots with real sharks.
2 shots. Okay, yeah, 2 shots.
And by the way, talking about
very far away from
people putting people in danger. I believe don't they put a little person in a cage and drop him in the water with a great white shark? Isn't that the way that scene works?
In Jaws?
Yeah, there's this scene when it's an underwater shot and it's supposed to be Richard Dreyfuss in the cage, and you just have this shot of a shark like going to fucking town on that cage. And they just could never do anything with the robot like that. And it's one shot in the movie, and I really think the way they did it is it's not a gigantic shark, but it's a small cage with a little person in it.
I'll look that up. But I gotta say that is a very Spielbergian thing to do, because if you've read about or heard about like the production of what is it?
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
No.
Accosted people with real aliens.
No. What's the horror movie he did? They're here.
Spielberg. That's Poltergeist, and
Poltergeist.
He just executive produced that.
Okay, but he was on the set. No, the first one he didn't direct.
It's basically he essentially directed it, but technically he's just the producer. But so anyways,
he the pool scene where the skeletons are coming up and all that. I forgot the actress's name, but she had to be in a pool and there's lights and shit everywhere and they're just falling all. And she's like, I'm going to get shocked. I don't want to be in this fucking pool. And he was making her, but he was nice enough to be like, listen, I'm going to be in the pool with you. So if they shock me, if they shock you, they're going to shock me.
Yeah.
And they're not going to shock me because I'm Steven Spielberg.
Spielberg's a class act, everybody. He's a class act.
He is a class act.
All right, final thoughts on
let me just read the the excerpt of the New York Times positive review of the
Yeah, that's
film.
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's a positive review in the New York Times. I saw that.
They said, it is the only movie fiction I have ever seen that sustains a scholarly, informative attitude towards the world of snakes.
You got to remember the era, though. I mean, that's a 70s comment in the 70s fucking era.
No, John, you can't do that. That's the New York Times right there.
It's the New York Times in 1973.
Right, where they had like 10 times as many people and probably have like 4 people on an all snake team that could have like looked it over and been like, no, that movie is not accurate about snakes.
But you got to look at all the movies that came out that year. It was just as shitty as this one.
Okay.
Sure.
It was a boring movie. It was like, I mean, I the whole time, I mean, this is during the era when you just got a cool, like, I can get a hold of 2 snakes, and it's like, shit, write a movie around that.
Wait, no.
And in 12 weeks, it would be in theaters nationwide.
You have 2 snakes and Dirk Benedict.
Well,
it's
that came later.
Right? According to Wikipedia, they had to use a different snake for every take.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of snakes. Yeah, because they had to take the venom out of them, and then they would only be de-venomized for a little while.
Movies were just based around like what you had access to, and then you wrote a story around that.
Okay. In any case, everybody, that is.
Jason, what made you fucking do this? Again, you pick the worst fucking movies. You're so good at this.
I've got like a whole childhood encyclopedia of these, so we could go on for years with this podcast.
Now, before we move on to next week, everybody, final thoughts. I'm going to start off with, I just do not understand the direction to make everyone as tired as possible. Like, these are good actors. They are competent actors. They can put in a good performance. This was a directorial choice, and it's a directorial choice across the board. The jocks are tired. Dirk Benedict is tired. Kristen's tired. Stoner is pretty much.
Maybe it was supposed to be the same effect as Rollerball. Like at the 70s, they have to be cool, and that was
at all in this movie.
Listen, you know what a good director can't save is shitty writing. And there's shitty ass fucking writing in this.
There's a lot of bad writing in this.
There's awful writing in this. There's nothing compelling about all this crappy dialogue going on and on and on and on. You're waiting for a fucking snake to do something. And you wait through half the fucking movie to see 2 fucking... I mean, it's bullshit.
Okay. Question. What are the chances that both of the... Oh, no, I was going to say that both the snake that kills Stoner and the snake that is David are the same snake? No, because you say they have a ton of snakes. They have to have a different snake every take. Okay.
Yes.
Talk about that safety protocol there that Roar never would have done.
No.
They're milking the snakes.
We don't even are they even sedating the lions in Roar? Because I bet you these snakes are sedated.
Wait, movie sets have to be insured. What insurance company said yes to Roar? Like,
no, they didn't need to. Like, oh my God, now we're just back on Roar.
Yeah, we have to.
Roar's hard to get over. I mean,
it really is. Yeah,
I was telling you that needs to be like 5 fucking.
Yeah, we need to bring other people on the podcast and make them watch it and just be like, "What is going on?"
It's Roar every day. It's Roar every week. So,
in terms of my final thoughts about this, in terms of Roar, is that it would have been better if it was actually kind of switched, because to tell you, the snake scientist is kind of living the dream. He's outside of academia. He's got money. He's got his own lab. He does what he wants. Doesn't really answer to anybody. He's living like the academic dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so the Roar plot should have applied here. So it should have just been the good-natured scientist who's living the dream on a farm with his daughter and his intern, and he's teaching them about how great and wonderful snakes are and what good friends they are. who would actually be trying to turn people into fucking tigers for no reason is the guy
Would have been a
from
much better
Roar.
movie.
Is the guy from Roar, because that guy, is out of his fucking mind. So I think that's the way these movies should have been made.
Flip
Flip the plots.
Trade plots.
Mhm.
Roar is madman turning people into lions, and
Right. And then his family shows up, and he's like, "You can't be here. You're going to turn into a lion."
well, we'll turn in next week for our next film, Quack. That's coming up next. But all right, John. But actually, Jason, I'm sorry. Like, it's the film, as you've said, you chose was from your childhood. What's your memories of this film?
You had a fucked up childhood, Jason.
Yeah.
Basing on these fucking movies you used to watch.
Yeah, we had every TV station, every movie station, and I used to spend hours flipping, and because that's how you
what
did
was
it.
on, right? Yeah.
And I was flipping through. I see this guy in green body paint wiggling around in a bed, and I'm like, "What's going on here?" And so at that point, I had only seen from that to the end of the movie, and hadn't seen the rest of it. And my mind kind of vaguely recalled it, and rewatched it. Or watched the whole thing and thought, you know what? Let's go on in this podcast.
There you go.
And here
All
we
right.
are.
And John, it's your turn to choose.
Okay, I'm gonna play the role of Jigsaw right now.
Oh,
And I'm gonna Ian, I've got you in my booby trap. And I'm gonna make you choose.
he has my leg chained to the radiator in a guillotine and a box of chocolates. And
yes,
what
and there's a key inside the belly of a loved one.
Okay.
And your choice is either hang on, I'm loading it.
Okay.
Your
Waiting.
choice is either
Don't keep us in suspense. Oh, here we go. Oh my goodness. Josh Trank's Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
Or
and you can choose this.
we're gonna edit out these pauses in the podcast version. Or not.
Yes. Fantastic Four, which you were avoiding, directed by Josh Trank. Or you don't have to watch that.
I don't have to watch it. Yeah.
You can choose the other option
Oh, I know what you're gonna do.
of all right, it's taking forever to load. Kirk Cameron Surviving Christmas.
Oh,
You've got the floor. Choose what movie we will be watching next week. These two titles.
okay. I've got Kirk Cameron, or I've got Fantastic Four, a film that is, for all intents and purposes, the worst version of my most beloved comic book ever.
Right. Or you have Kirk Cameron lecturing you for 2 hours. It's Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas, not Surviving Christmas. Kirk Cameron. If that helps any, I don't know if that helps any.
Yeah, I was confused because I had the picture. I was like, Ben Affleck was in Kirk Cameron's movie. I was like,
all right. I'm choosing Kirk Cameron.
Come on, dude! You're a Fantastic Four. Really?
Listen, we've got to do it one of these days. Because
get the fuck out of here!
I'm it's better for the podcast, and I'm fulfilling the prophecy. You didn't think I was going to do it. You thought I was going to.
I 1000% thought you were going to choose. You could either watch the Fantastic. All right, maybe it's not the best Fantastic Four, but at the end of the day, it's still a Fantastic Four movie versus fucking a Kirk Cameron movie.
We're gonna do it.
Get the fuck out of here! Holy shit! All right,
I'm a wild card.
all right, you've earned it.
Listen.
You really don't want to watch that movie.
Wait, because that's the first? No, that was the second one that you said we were going to do, and then you changed on us. I'm trying to bring the karmic balance back.
All right, all right,
everybody.
Remember, you chose
Saving Christmas.
You chose this. This is your choice.
My fault.
Ian wanted to watch Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas. We're going to be lectured by Kirk Cameron for 2 hours.
2 hours?
It's around 2 hours of like how we're fucking assholes for not believing what he fucking believes in.
All right, guys. We're not paying for this movie, right?
I'm not. I don't know what you're doing. I mean, no, it's 79 minutes.
Okay. All right.
So an hour and a half.
I'll put money in Lou Diamond Phillips' pocket, but not Kirk Cameron.
That's damn straight. All right. Once again, thank you all for joining us.
I'll put a link up to that on the if anyone wants to join us watching this. Here it is.
Really, I'm going to say this for this movie. All of you audience at home, you can avoid watching this one. You don't need to watch.
You got to watch it too, Ian, because of you. Because of you. You know what? These guys wanted to watch the Fantastic Four. A lot of them probably haven't seen it, and it might be good. There's no chance of this being good.
There's no chance.
There's no chance.
All right, we got that link coming.
Yep, it's right here. I put it up.
There it is.
And and remember, this is Ian's job. We could have watched a great Marvel adventure, but instead he wanted to watch Christian authoritarian lectures.
Yeah, but John, this is the one you wanted to watch too.
No, I didn't pick it. You picked it. I would have watched the movie. I mean, it's got the Thing. It's got Mr. Fantastic. I mean, who wouldn't want to watch that? I gave you an out, and you chose this. I mean, you really love Kirk Cameron. I mean, I don't know. I know you like.
All right, we're done. We're done here tonight.
You really should have picked 2 horrible comic book movies, John. That's the actual. If you're trying
that
to,
would have been the
actual mental turmoil that would tear him apart, mentally and spiritually. If you had 2,
I don't know if I would have picked well. If I would have done that, I would have picked this Fantastic Four and the original Punisher with Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, that's
And he would have went with that, right?
I probably would have gone with Dolph Lundgren. Yeah,
he would have went with Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. We'll see everybody next week with it'll be same time, not 9 o'clock or thereabouts on Wednesday. Thank you everyone for watching and listening at home. And I'm Ian Alley Seals, host of A Dangerous Podcast. I'm here with John and Jules and Jason. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Catch you next week. Thank you so much.